Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft Gamemode 4 server. In the background behind us is what we're going to call the snail. Yes, a lot of you commented about that and it does kind of look a little bit like a snail and I think that's a pretty cool name for it. But one thing that you may notice is that there is a lot of animals around here. As we talked about in the last episode, for some reason passive animal spawning is happening a lot. Happening way more than it should, and it's a really strange bug. One that I hope we get sorted out soon. Of course we're working on it, we don't want it to stay like that, and it looks like someone's actually built a nice little staircase for us. That is really convenient actually. And we're going to do a little bit of work on this place today, and we're also going to go and find a location for our own base, and I got something very cool in mind for that, something really cool to show you with the Gamemode 4 custom features of course. But I want to let you guys know something about this farm. I had a lot of comments from people saying, why didn't I move the spawners in here? Now in Gamemode 4 you can move vanilla spawners using minecarts and pistons and other cool mechanics, but these ones right here you can't move them with minecarts. These are custom ones, they spawn a special type of mob, and for that reason and how the game works it means we can't actually make use of this, which is unfortunate. But you know, we've still got 3 of them, so I'm not complaining. Looks like some modifications have been made over here, which is interesting. I'm actually going to make some modifications of my own. Now that we have a lot of iron, I'm going to expand the amount of hoppers down the bottom here, and also we're going to improve the trap a little bit, make it a little bit more friendly, and also add some sort of TNT killing mechanism over here. So we'll have some water on the side, we can deposit TNT into it, and then we can switch to a looting sword, and the looting effect will be applied to these guys. A fantastic suggestion from XB that was. I read through all of my comments, and I think only 1 or 2 people mentioned using looting sword with the potions, but XB suggested using TNT, which I think is a really good idea. So that's what we're going to look at doing today. But for right now, we're actually going to head back over to the base. We're going to pick up some obsidian, we're going to hook up a portal to this place and do a whole bunch of stuff. And also, if you remember, we get tons of coal and bones from this farm. Well, the coal is actually useful for something else, and while we're over here we might as well grab a few items to bring back across with us, although none of this actually looks terribly useful and I'm probably going to end up using the cobblestone for building. So yeah, I've got something to show you that we can do with the coal. Actually DMAX showed me it. I kind of knew it existed but hadn't had a little poke around yet, and I think I need to have another read of the wiki because there's so many things that you can do and I'm still thinking a little bit vanilla at the moment. So anyway, as I said, the plan is to make some modifications over here, and we're also going to head back and I'll show you these cool things back at the spawn camp. Alright, so while we're over here, another thing that we actually need to do is get ourselves a looting sword. I will do this off camera, but I wanted to show you. Oh, someone's put an anvil here, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we can use a stone sword because we're not actually going to be using it, we're just going to be holding it in our hands. So this shouldn't take too long because I can do, you know, a bunch of dummy enchants to then get looting down here. So hopefully I'll be able to get that. Looks like we're not going to get it first time, but it shouldn't take too long. And what I wanted to show you is something to do with the equivalent exchange module. I was going to say mod, but it's not quite. So this is it right here, I think. I don't fully know what I'm doing here, and actually it looks like the thing that I need is missing. Let's go over to this one. I might be getting a little confused as to what's what. Okay, it is the same thing, but this is what's missing, the Philosopher's Stone. So if we put this thing in here, and remember all that coal we got from the farm? Well, you can drop it in like this, and it'll turn it into iron. Yeah, so we can turn our coal into diamonds basically, like this, and that was interesting. Okay, it downgraded it, that kind of makes sense, because I made a mess up there. If we go like that, you need to put 1 in that shape. Let's do it again with gold, and then diamonds. Now, we didn't use all of our coal to get there, because it would take quite a bit of time. If you think about it, you've got to do this manually each time, and although it's not terribly slow, it's going to add up over time because you need to do a lot of these, but we can technically turn our coal into diamonds, which is pretty cool. Not something I think I'm going to do too often, and I'm going to check out and see what else we can do with this stuff, because you can upgrade these stones as well. But when we go over to our own base, I'm going to walk you through all of this properly. And is it me, or have I taken some damage here? Did I move my heart canisters? I might have done that without paying attention. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was really cool. Just wanted to share that with you quickly. So anyway, I'm going to gather up some things like a looting sword and stuff that we need for the farm over there, and some obsidian for a portal as well. And doesn't the new texture right here look really nice? It matches the obsidian one, and there's no more red cloth, which is something you don't have in the crafting recipe. So a nice little change there. So we got a portal set up right here for easy transport, and I've made some modifications here again. we're still in that kind of early stage where things are just being thrown together, but this is an awesome upgrade. As I said, we're going to use TNT. Now up the top here, I decided to use some trapdoors instead of pistons. We can now make pistons, which would be a good idea, because as you'll see when I hit this, by the way, I've rewired things here. Some of the skeletons are going to stay up the top. They're going to be trapped on the trapdoors like that, which is no good at all. So we do need to use pistons, and yeah, there's nothing really we can do about that because the trapdoors do indeed have a hitbox. Unless we were to continue that hitbox all the way up to the top. No, I don't think even that would work. They'd be able to get caught on the edge of it either way. So we're going to break those for now, let them all fall down. And I actually kind of want those back because I was going to close it again, but whatever. Let me just do this test and show you how this is going to work. So let's bring them down to one hit kill. And by the way, I got that looting sword. That's very important, of course. You can see looting free. So we're going to activate the TNT and then switch to our looting sword. And I rearranged this a little bit as well. So the deal is we've got water in the back there. This is where we place the TNT. Then when we ignite it, it stays there. The water flows in so it doesn't break blocks. And below all of these half slabs here, there are hoppers. I'm thinking of putting some under these ones as well, because all of the items fly out and we want to pick them up. So anyway, we detonate the TNT. We can hold block as well, because we will actually take damage. I didn't leave enough room around here, and straight away a skull flies out to the front, which is really cool. And now all the items sort of go into the hoppers slowly. But the thing is, they're getting filled up with these ones, which are pretty useless. And I think what we need to do is make an item filter. So we're going to build a little item filter array. The ones that we're going to filter out will be the wither skeleton skulls, the bones, and also the coal. They're the three items that we actually want. And all of these, even though the boots are kind of useful, we're just going to dispose them and get rid of them. Although the boots aren't really useful now because we're well and truly geared up. I mean, we've got diamonds, we've got 44 levels of XP. We're not going to have any trouble getting ourselves some feather falling. So it seems like a logical thing to do. That does mean the wither skeleton skulls are going to be inside the item filter. However, we're going to have so many of them, it won't even bother us. And we're going to get a ton more now that we've got looting. So we'll build that item filter. We'll also fix the problem up here with some more pistons, and then I think this farm will be ready for a big test. I'm talking about letting hundreds of these guys build up, and then with one single piece of TNT we should be able to get a lot of skulls. I already got 5 out of this from the last time I did it, so it'd be an interesting experiment to see how many we would get. Alright, I did a test a moment ago. We had about 350, we now got about 200. This is going to be a little easier to record because I had about 8 frames per second. But let me show you what has been done. It's pretty straightforward. We've got the pistons installed up the top here. So this cutoff is now going to work correctly. Then we're going to hit the button. They're going to make some hideous noise. And we're going to head down here out of the way, sort of. So I can show you that the item filter is in place. This thing is pretty standard and basic. And at the end here, we've got a dispenser to get rid of the items that go through. So that's going to be all of the junk ones that we don't want. And they're just going to get dispensed down onto the ground, which may not be ideal, but I do plan on putting some lava below it, so that'll get fixed in a moment. But otherwise, this place is done, and I got something cool to show you. Where is my sword? I've got a feeling that I might have thrown away my sword when last clearing out all of this, which means it probably went through here, down onto the ground, and despawned. Wow. Okay, so there's no looting this time. I guess I'll have to get another looting sword. I can't believe that I did that, but I still want to show you the farm, so let's just go and plop it down right here, and then hit the TNT, and I got something cool to show you with the bottles right here, the glass ones. So when that XP comes over to us, we're going to lose all of the frames in the world, but what we're going to do while we're standing in this corner is throw these down on the ground, and they should turn into XP bottles, and there we go, awesome. But they didn't stack up with this one. That's interesting. But there you go, that's something that you can do in the game. You can throw bottles on the ground. If there's XP there, they group up into XP bottles, which is really cool. And now we're just staring at me with a load of XP in my face. So anyway, it looks like I've got to get myself another looting sword to use this place a bit more. Let's actually go down below. Oh, something I did earlier, by the way, was run into the portal to make all of the XP orbs go through like that, which is a clever little trick. When I go through the other side, there'll be loads of them. But we got 17 skulls so far, and the item filter is filled up. So I definitely want to grab another looting sword and hang around here for a bit more. Try and get some more skulls. I'll show you how many we get, but that's probably going to be our last look at this place for a while. So I do hope you like the farm. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Alright, so we got 39 skulls in total. That means we can fight an additional 13 withers. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Anyway, we're here in a random place in the Nether. You might be wondering what we're going to do. Well, I probably titled this video with yet another hint, and look at all that glowstone as well. There's loads of it we can pick up from around here. That's good. But yes, we are going to be moving out, and we're going to go to a new location to start our own base. I want to do that straight away in this world. And also, we're here at Nether Fortress. This is the first time I've seen the nether brick texture actually used in this environment, you know, in a natural generated fortress, and it looks alright, and I think this is one of the ones that we might change. We might even remove the purplish colour and maybe go with a little bit of a different colour, give, you know, people new building options. But anyway, you'll always hear little updates from me about the textures. Let's go through this portal and see where we're going to go, because there's a specific reason I have picked this area right here to build our base in, and let me tell you straight away, this is the reason, because we can... Oh! There's dirt here. That's interesting. There's supposed to be loads of snow in this area. Oh, that is interesting. Oh, and then there's the snow. Huh. Okay, so perhaps it does it under a specific height. But anyway, the custom terrain that we have replaces lots of the underground stone and dirt and stuff with apparently ice as well, and snow. We're going to have to do some right old investigating here, because this wasn't quite how I thought it was. So maybe it doesn't do it straight from the surface, but as you can see, it replaces some of the materials down below with sand, and sand is going to be very easy to remove. Now we can use this shovel right here. We can also use iron shovels with efficiency 1 to instant mine them, and I'll come back and patch this up in a moment. So my plan is to build an underground base on this season. I've got my first project sort of in mind, ready to start planning it, and it's going to be a really cool project that takes advantage of Game Mode 4 and does some awesome, interesting stuff, and we're going to get going on doing that pretty soon. But let's just scout out the area. This is actually my first time here, so we've got a bunch of frozen rivers, we've got no wildlife, we've got tons of snow everywhere, and I don't think we're going to spend too much time up here at the surface. I want to build the entire base underground, and yeah, being able to clear out the snow so easily means that we can do lots of projects under there. I'm much better at decorating interiors than exteriors, and if we can remove everything quickly, then it's just going to be easy, isn't it? And now that I say that, I am sort of thinking, well, we're not far off from having efficiency 5, and you know, we've got ourselves a nether star, so we could make a beacon and clear things out that way, but it's always going to be easier with snow, just because you can use iron shovels, which are going to be relatively cheap. We don't have an iron farm yet on the server as well, which is another thing to keep in mind. Yeah, and look at this, some floating snow layers. Interesting. And they pop off. Yeah, and it doesn't really look like there's anything at all to see up here on the surface. Now, there is one other reason why I picked this area as well. There's a big snowy biome, we're sort of in the middle of it. There is a quad slime chunk nearby, and I actually need slimes to do this project that I've got in mind. So what we're going to do today is find that location and clear it out, hopefully, with some iron shovels, which should be relatively easy. And of course, I've got to make some trips back and forth. I brought with me an ender chest to make moving materials fairly easy. We want to have all of our stuff at the base over here, really. So I'm going to do a little bit of investigation. We're going to go down to the bottom. We're going to move the portal down there as well. You see, this thing's alright being up on the surface, but the entire base, oh, fell in the hole, is going to be underground. So I'm going to go all the way down to bedrock and try and find out a little bit more about how the snow and ice is working underneath. We're also going to try and find some caves and do a little bit of exploring as well. So we'll move the portal down there and start setting up like a storage area. And then, yeah, we can move on to the projects that I talked about. Oh my god. This is the first time that's ever happened. Yeah, Cleo's like, what? Okay, so the blood moon is something that E's added in. It's where mobs become super hard and you have to try and stay alive for the night. You can't sleep it away with a bed. That's not allowed. Or not possible even. And I've never experienced one of these before. And it's right as we're going underground. And I'm going to build a staircase all the way down to the bottom. So I want to continue doing this. There'll be other times to stay outside and see what the blood moon is like. But I also don't want to get killed in this situation, right? I mean, I've got a lot of good stuff on me. And it would be pretty bad to get killed around now. There doesn't appear to be many mobs spawning in this area as well, which is interesting. But I'll keep my eye on it. For now, what I'm going to do is do a diagonal staircase like this going down. So we go one and another one. Do I have any torches? That was not low enough. So we go down at that height, and just make a diagonal staircase. Diagonal? It's not even diagonal, is it? A spiral. There we go. The right word came to me eventually. We're just going to make a spiral staircase going down like this. And if I had some torches, that would be nice. Got some coal, got some wood, we can do that. And let's just make a couple of... Oh, messing this up already. There we go. Let's go back up to the surface and just quickly check and see what's going on up there. Have any mobs spawned? Yep, okay, so why don't we just fight one and see if there's any big noticeable difference. So this guy should be relatively stronger. So nope, 2 hits, maybe not that much stronger. I'm going to have to read up on it a little bit more. But yes, the Blood Moon does something crazy where the mobs become really difficult and harder to kill. And you can't skip the night either. But anyway, we're going to be underground digging our way down, so hopefully everything will go smoothly. This red tint on my screen is pretty crazy. And digging around underneath right now, this is starting to be a little bit of pain. It appears that the underground terrain has ice and snow mixed together. So as I'm trying to dig down, we're going to be breaking the ice like this, which means I got to replace them. And then, didn't I break that and put cobblestone there? Apparently not. Yeah, I got to break them twice, which is kind of annoying. It also means if we put in torches, they're going to melt the ice as well. So I'm kind of expecting as I walk back up here to maybe see the occasional piece of ice has turned into water. Like it looks like a couple of them in the corner there have done. And that is definitely going to be a problem. And now my inventory is full up with snow as well. This is another thing we've got to do. When we're underground, clearing out areas of the snow, Sparks did mention that you should pick up the snowballs because there'll be so many of them that it'll start to cause lag. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And what height are we at right now? 49. It is taking me a little bit of time. Not too much, but we're not moving down fast, that's for sure. And we're probably going to run into more ice soon as well. So we have arrived at the bottom. We are at Y8, and you can see I've cleared out a little bit of space. I've got a feeling I know what the ice is now. I think lava might have been replaced with ice, which would make a lot of sense in this biome, and not encountering lava down here is going to be fantastic. But one thing that I learnt is that breaking this is a bit of a pain. So with no block underneath, that's fine. However, with a block underneath, you create water, and that's always going to be a bit of a problem. So what we're going to need is a silk touch pick. So we're going to need 2 things here. We're going to be switching between picking up the snowballs with a shovel and then also the ice with silk touch, which means we'll probably gather lots and lots of ice over time as we kind of clear out the areas. And look at that, you can see through the ice up to our staircase. That's really cool. I do like that. And it's going to be interesting to find some caves as well. But this is going to be it for me now, just clearing out a little bit of a base area down the bottom here. We'll probably make it higher as well. And I really need to get some chests in here so we can start picking up those snowballs, because they will end up causing a lot of lag. And we've got to set up the portal down here as well. Should be fairly straightforward stuff. It's still a blood moon, by the way. I've got a feeling that the night might not pass until you do something to deactivate the blood moon. So I'm going to go look it up on the wiki and see if there's anything else we need to do for it. Do you know what I've just spotted? I've just spotted it. Something above us. Right above my head. I think there is a mine shaft directly above us. And I've just made our second trip back. As you can see, I've changed out from the fancy armour into our derpy armour. It's still a blood moon. I need to go investigate that because I read on the wiki that it just should last a single night. Maybe we have to do something to prevent it. But anyway, what did I want to show you? Yep, we've done the second run, brought loads of things back, including all of the different saplings. I forgot that I managed to collect all 6, so that's good. Going to do some wood farming down here, and I've also got a silk touch pick, which is awesome, with efficiency 4. So before I left this area, all the torches that I placed down started melting the water, and they started flowing, some of them quite close towards the portal, which would have been bad, but now we don't have to worry about that, because we have the silk touch pick, and we can mine it like this. That definitely says silk touch. So why did the water come from the block? Maybe I did something there. Maybe it had already melted. Yeah, the torch probably melted it above. I don't have any other blocks on me. That's not good. Let's quickly make up some snow and put it right there. There we go. Awesome. So we can remove this now. It's going to be an interesting mining experience doing ice and snow all the time. But here you go. We can go up here and have a look now. Do I have any torches? I'm not really prepared for exploring, am I? Let's get some torches together. Okay, that'll do. Let's go up here, and as soon as I put down the torches, it does mean that the ice can melt. So that's always going to be a little bit tricky. And I'm starting to wonder if the ice is actually just the lava. Maybe it's other things as well, because there seems to be a lot of it around the place. It could be that andesite and granite and all of those ones don't actually spawn here. They're replaced with ice, which makes it kind of tricky. And I was hoping to pick up some of those materials as well as we go around so we could build with them. So that's going to be a little bit of a disappointment for this area. But you'll notice that the wood is a different colour. That's something that Spark's done. He's given each of the different biome a different wood colour for down here in the mine shaft. So we might find a few spawners around here. It's going to be good, fun stuff. and I'm pretty sure we're going to end up melting a lot more ice than I want to. But anyway, I think the next thing I need to do is just properly clear out this area down here, and then we need to go and find that quad slime chunk that I talked about earlier, because I'd like to clear that out and start getting some slimes as soon as possible. So I've kind of wasted my shovel a little bit here. I probably should have made an enchanting table and gotten on getting some iron picks, but we'll do that from now on, because we have found the slime chunk, and I've also found out a little bit more about this terrain, and I'm thinking we're probably going to clear out the slime chunk in between episodes, because I want to upload this one, and all I've got to do left now is clear things out. So behind these walls, you can see they're all snow. There's ice and caves and stuff like that, but I've been replacing them with snow so we can put down torches. And you'll notice in this area here, there's also no ice apparent. So what I've sort of done is just dug out the areas where the ice appears, and then there's snow behind it, so you get these kind of natural formations appearing. And I think this space is going to be special, because the snow keeps making me think of Star Wars, the second of the original, or the fifth one, I guess you could say, The Empire Strikes Back, where you have the snow bases. And I don't know, I feel like this just needs to be a part of what we're doing down here, because it's very different, not something you see too often in Minecraft, as of course snow doesn't appear this frequently, unless you're playing Game Mode 4. But anyway, the passageway goes down here, and I found out that packed ice also spawns underground, which is interesting, so we can get that down here as well. And then I dug a tunnel that was way too long. I kind of miscalculated things. But if we turn left up ahead, this is where the slime chunk is going to start, just around here. So as we go through here, there's also a cave, by the way. I found some diamonds in here, which was good. And this is what the caves look like, as you can see. If I start putting down torches, though, we're going to melt some of the ice, so we've got to be careful when exploring these. It's really different when you think about it. You're going to be running around, throwing down torches, and then all of a sudden, there's going to be water flowing out of the different places. Hello, go away! There we go, got ya. And some gold. I definitely want this, but I'll pick it off, or pick it up off camera even. Hello. This is very different, isn't it? And you've got to think about where you put the torches, because you don't want to melt stuff. And some diamonds, that's nice. I like this. Oh, something hit me. Okay, let's get closer and take this guy out. I've only got 2 arrows, if you're wondering why I'm not using my bow and arrow, but I will take the diamonds. I found a fair few of these so far, and I've got a feeling we're going to find a few more. That's good. Awesome. And oh, look at that, you can see through the ice to where we were before. That's something that I've noticed when I've been digging, is that you get a big patch of ice like this, and you can see off down to bedrock sometimes, and you can see other ores through it as well. Did I just spot some more diamonds? No, I didn't. I'm just getting hopeful now. Yeah, so you can kind of see through everything, and it's a really nice, different experience. I like it a lot. And I just want to show you the slime chunks now. So over the end here, this is it from this point where I started digging into the side, all the way down to the end there is our 32 block along quad slime chunk. So I'm going to dig it out to the other side, but I will be doing that in between episodes. So that is it for this one. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you're excited about the new base, any ideas you want to share with me, what you think about this whole working in this snow biome. I think it's going to be awesome. And remember to leave a like, because I have an arrow in my head. That's why you should do it. Oh, that's so silly. Yep, that looks derpy. But anyway, that's it. As always, thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.